And now this, folks, an editorial in the Wall Street Journal taking aim at the Federal Aviation Administration. It reads, "Flying the FAA's unfriendly skies." A new Inspector General report tells you what Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg won't about air traffic controllers. There's a major shortage. It does go on to criticize the training procedures for new flight controllers, now due in part to the pandemic, and it says, be prepared for these problems to continue for a few more summers. So how fair is that criticism? I'm going to bring in travel journalist Francesca Page. Francesca, what do you make of that journal editorial? I mean, golly, it's going to take a couple of years to resolve this?
Well, you've got to keep in mind that aside from the bad weather, the airports were seeing impacts from reduced staffing at critical air route traffic control centers. So going into the summer, the FAA knew that this could be an issue. The lack of staffing almost system-wide impacting air traffic on high passenger travel days, coupled with weather, is bound to create severe delays for travelers. However, probably also not the most tactful move on the part of the FAA to then joke about passenger etiquette amidst all this.
Right.
But the problem is also that it seems the Transportation Secretary didn't originally even appear to be worried about how to handle issues with flight disruptions, whether ultimately due to weather, 5G issues, or staffing, essentially leaving travelers with a state of what do we do and what should we prepare for as we enter into the summer?
Yeah, I think around the White House they call him Cool Hand Pete. It's not just, though, the Wall Street Journal. Last week, the CEO of United, really upset. He says when it comes to weather, particularly in Newark, where they have a lot of operations, he says the FAA has historically been able to manage without severe impact to our operations or customers. It just feels just so irresponsible. And then I went over to the FAA's website to see, well, what does it take to become an air traffic controller? Well, it turns out 2023 application, that window is closed. And so if you wanted to be an air traffic controller and come to the rescue, that window is closed. You got to be a U.S. citizen. You got to be 31. I'm looking at this, and it doesn't seem like, okay, 3 years general work experience. You wonder how we have had this void this long and why it continues to this degree.
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, look, ultimately, I think everyone is very concerned about what the summer ahead is going to look like. As I've mentioned, there's a number of factors to take into consideration. It's not just staffing. Obviously, the weather has been pretty terrible. I can speak from experience. I've had a lot of friends who've gone through severe delays and cancellations over this past holiday week. Look, for the most part, airlines are really trying to do what they can right now to keep passengers happy, which is not an easy feat. Please make sure you check your flight status before you get to the airport, and always sign up for airlines' free text alerts and download their apps for updates. If you're already at the airport, when you get delayed or cancelled, please head as fast as you can to the agent's desk and call up your carrier in the meantime to see what your options are. Also, try and book direct flights as much as possible. The more legs an itinerary has, the more points where it can get messed up along the way.
Yeah, we got to leave it there. Maybe bring a sleeping bag, too. Francesca, no, really.